We are back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We're going to go back to your calls in just a moment. 888-201-2244. But I want to hit this one up. California was among states with record unemployment. Really, the headline should have been 29 U.S. states last month compared with 22 had jobless rates rise. And these are the public numbers. 29 out of 50, well over 50% of people. They're losing their jobs, folks. The states are at an all-time high of unemployment. And hopefully we'll be firing Jaron soon because of this. I kid. There he is. He's over there watching MLS. I joke. Everybody knows that there's a little animosity with me and Jaron after that Richard Marks incident. And if you haven't seen that one, then you can Google it on the YouTube. But I joke. California, Delaware, South Carolina, and Florida registered record rates of unemployment in October as weakness in labor markets stretched from coast to coast, with limits on economic recovery. Michigan right now publicly is at the highest at 15.1%. Okay, 15.1%. And I want to dovetail that into this article, which really bothered me, got me a little upset. Folks, they can't even bury their dead bodies in Detroit. Unburied bodies tell the tale of Detroit, a city in despair, and they're not even reporting on this in the United States, where there are cover stories in Time magazine. This is out of the Times Online. They're admitting that the city's mortuaries have, folks, they have unclaimed bodies in the dozens and hundreds at the mortuaries that they cannot afford to bury in Detroit. That's the economic situation. They can't even bury their dead. Well, is this our footage from Detroit? Oh, this is great stuff. Aaron and Rob Dew were recently there, and there were just parts of Detroit that looked like a war zone. Folks, they can't even bury their dead. You're going to see a lot of this stuff, and there's just a destitute old factory where they don't make nothing anymore, and it's a sad state of affairs. You know, it's more than just Flint, Michigan, and Michael Moore's film, Roger and Me. I mean, this is the real deal. They can't afford to bury their dead. They have the highest unemployment rate publicly in the country at 15.1%. All right. I can see through you, We are back live. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, and we're going to go to BJ, John, Don, and more in just a moment. I just want to hit up some of these headlines. And then from the headlines, we're going to play this clip where again, this group of rabbis in this murky conspiracy were dealing in organs, and they were ripping people off in Ponzi schemes. It came to light recently that one of these guys was an FBI informant, and he separately was ripping off people for over $400 million with the help of the FBI. So we're going to play that clip in just a moment. Electric car maker Tesla preparing IPO. They're going to go public. U.S. electric sports car maker Tesla Motors plans to go public soon. Two sources familiar with the matter said, amid growing interest in green technology and battery-powered vehicles. Right now, they have a Roadster for about $109,000 that goes 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, making it quicker than even the Porsche. Okay? Now, here's what's interesting. It seems like they're pushing this company. We all know about the electric cars back in the 80s. In fact, I encourage people to go check out the documentary film, Who Killed the Electric Car, where you can clearly see that the technology was there in the late 80s. It was getting 80 miles to one charge, but they wouldn't allow people to actually buy their vehicle. They were forced to lease it. And then after they leased it, they crushed these cars down. They wouldn't allow people to buy them. This is why I'm a little suspect of the whole thing. It looks like now their car is, $109,000. They're working on a Model S, and that's going to have a base price of around $49,900, so about $50,000. Going to make it more affordable for the family. But then you look into who is giving them money. You follow the money. Well, the electric car startup was offered $465 million in low-cost loans by the U.S. Department of Energy to help build the new Model S. Tesla said it will build the new car in California. Now, here are the other investors that make me a little suspicious. Tesla's investors include Google Incorporated founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Other investors include Demolier AG and Abu Dhabi-based Aber Investments. So those are the people investing in this. Let's keep a close eye on Tesla Motors. Folks, there's just so much out there I don't know why people have to get into the imagined, into the extraordinary that they can't prove. Dark ocean depths home to exotic, unknown life. Here on this earth, there is so much more yet to be explored. They're now getting into the nether regions of the ocean, and they're saying that a total of 17,650 species of animals, also including shrimps, coral, starfish, or crabs, have been identified in the frigid, sunless waters down about 5 kilometers or 3 miles deep. The diversity of life in the deep sea is much, much greater than we have believed. We're in 2009 and we don't even know what's on this planet yet, folks. Forget about the universe. I found that extremely interesting. Carl Levin, one of the left cover out there, one of the people out there who's, I'm against the war. I think we should get out. But if we're going to pay for the war, we need a new tax. And of course, he comes out and he says this tax is going to be for the upper echelons of society, for the elite themselves. I can promise you, if they pass a new tax to fund these wars, it's you and me, the little guys, that will be paying for it. They've got a new European Union president. A lot of people thought it was going to be Tony Blair. Maybe it will be Tony Blair sometime down the lines, but right now it is Herman Van Rompuy. And if you go to prisonplanet.com right now, you can watch the video where he talks about global governance and a world government. Germany is warning that the U.S. is on a market bubble. It's not just China anymore. Germany's new finance minister has echoed Chinese warnings about the growing threat of a fresh global asset price bubbles fueled by low U.S. interest rates and a weak dollar. He said in a speech in Paris on Friday that emerging Asian economies were continuing strongly accommodative monetary policies in spite of their faster economic recoveries. They want to push this nation into a second world or third world nation. That's what they don't want to tell you. This redistribution of wealth, this population sustainability, it's all about more for them and less for us. And they're not the only ones. We have yet another socialite out there saying, yes, it looks like we better poise ourselves for a global economic collapse in the next 2 years. When Barack Obama gets up there with a smile on his face and says, well, we may not be able to stop the double dip recession. A double dip recession. How dumbed down are we? It's a global depression with us leading the way for them to revamp the entire global economy under their vision. Their vision of a global new world order. That's their terminology. If you missed any of the program, go to the INFOWARRIOR.com and get the podcast or become a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber and support this program. God bless you all.